Now, I strongly believe that these 5 things that you will learn in this video will make you exponentially better as a man. It will make you become a better person. It will make you become a better partner, a better team member, a better competitor, a better businessman, and an overall better person. What's up, champions? Welcome to another video. This video, I'm going to discuss the top 5 things that you're going to learn from fighting that you won't learn anywhere else. Why do men fight? Fighting is the assertion of dominance and the imposition of will to determine someone's superiority or supremacy within a social setting or space. Ever since the dawn of human time, we've always been programmed to fight. From the conquerors to the gladiators to the soldiers, we've always fought for survival. We've always fought for status, and we've always fought to become the best versions of ourselves. Fighting is absolutely imperative for you to learn because it teaches you how to build character and it teaches you skills that money can't buy. A little bit of background about me. I first stepped into the boxing gym when I was 12 years old. I'm from a not so nice area in Mindanao, Philippines. It's quite dangerous in that area and I hung out with the wrong crowd. Therefore, it was essential for me to learn how to fight so that I can defend myself. To be honest with you, back then I did not know how to fight. It wasn't always about learning how to fight. It's about having the willingness to fight when a certain time comes. Like how most fighters got started, they started fighting in the street. They develop uncontrollable anger issues and they just think that fighting is all about aggression. One day my ego got so huge, it got so inflated that I was like, you know what? I'm gonna walk into the gym and I'm gonna whoop everyone's ass. But it turned out to be the opposite. I got my ass whooped. Walked into a boxing gym and I asked fighters to spar with me. Now mind you, this boxing gym is not like one of those fancy gyms that you have in America or in Canada. Picture once you enter into a boxing gym, it smells really bad. There's a bad stench. The floor is so bad, we don't even have mats. Heavy bags are one punch away from breaking. It's wrapped around a bunch of duct tape to prolong its life. The ring is a few movements from collapsing and breaking down. The equipment at that gym is so bad. The boxing gloves are torn up. It smells so bad. Like the arrogant kid that I was, I asked the coach if I could spar. Found me a guy that was about the same size as me, and next thing you know, I was on the floor. I got dropped. And ever since then, I got humbled and I became a student of martial arts. Fast forward a few years later, I won a lot of fights. I've lost a few. I won a couple titles. One of the greatest achievements that I have to this day is walking into that boxing gym. Whenever I step out, I always know that I was way better than what I was before I started. And I met a lot of great people in martial arts and they're one of the best people that I know in my life. So with that being said, here are the top 5 things that you can learn from fighting that you won't learn anywhere else. Number 1, it teaches you how to have a bulletproof mindset. Once upon a time, there was a fight on February 11, 1990. It was way before I was born. It was in Tokyo, Japan. It was Iron Mike Tyson versus James Buster Douglas. This fight is one of the biggest upsets in fighting history. The then undefeated and undisputed great Iron Mike Tyson was knocked out by a 42-1 underdog, James Buster Douglas. Back then, Mike Tyson was untouchable. This guy was so feared in so many different realms in boxing. Nobody would ever thought that Mike Tyson would be beat. Now, Buster Douglas was a 42-1 underdog. That means nobody expected him to win. And mind you, prior to the fight, his mother died. So now, with all the cards stacked against Buster Douglas, he had absolutely every reason to pull out of the fight. James Buster Douglas defeated the great Iron Mike Tyson and he became the undisputed heavyweight champion of the world. Despite losing his mother, despite a lot of people not believing in him, despite all the cards stacked against him, he won. And one of the reasons why he was able to do that is because he had a bulletproof mindset. He was able to detach his emotions and he was able to focus on the task at hand. He was willing to die in that ring to get the job done. If you develop a bulletproof mindset, you will unlock something in your mind. It will teach you the ability to not give up under any circumstances. Let's say you had your very first sparring match at the gym. You get hit hard to the body, your nose is probably bleeding. There's only 2 thoughts that come into your mind. Are you gonna quit or are you gonna keep going? Now, if you quit in boxing or in fighting, you will also quit in absolutely anything that you do with your life. You're gonna start something and you're gonna end up quitting over and over and over again because that character has been developed inside you, inside your mind and your heart. Or you can choose the latter, which is to not give up and to just keep going. And once you decide to keep going, you're gonna unlock something inside your mind that you've never tapped in before. And you're gonna realize that it's not so bad after all. So it will become a habit for you to keep going no matter what the circumstance is. No matter what you put your body and your mind through, you're always going to keep pushing for more because you made a choice, you made it a habit to keep going no matter how much stress you put your mind and your body into. Program yourself, program your brain to not quit. So become durable, become unbreakable. No matter what happens, you get beat up in life, you get beat up at work, you get beat up with your business. A lot of people don't believe in you. It does not matter. What matters is that you believe in you. So you keep pushing, you keep punching, you do whatever it takes to win. If you've ever been in a fight, you will understand that nothing else matters. Your job doesn't matter anymore. Your living conditions, if it's cold outside, if it's sunny, doesn't matter how many friends you have, it doesn't matter how much money you make. Nothing else matters in a fight aside from winning. Therefore, if you get good at fighting, you become a better problem solver because you're constantly thinking about ways to win. You're constantly thinking how to counter that punch, constantly thinking how to move your head. You're constantly thinking how to kick, how to throw an elbow, how to do a takedown. You're always constantly looking for ways to win. But that doesn't only reflect in fighting, but that also reflects in life. You're constantly thinking about opportunities on how to get an upper edge of your opponent. The reward that you get from becoming mentally strong is you become fearless. If you've ever been in a fight, you know that it takes a lot of courage to be in that fight. Because you don't know what's gonna happen. It's the fear of the unknown. Once you're already in the fight, it's not as scary anymore. You've already eliminated the greatest fear. You've already eliminated the fear of the unknown. So talking to that one girl won't be as scary anymore. Talking to your boss doesn't become a big deal anymore. You've already been across the ring with someone that's trying to take your head off. So what's talking to that one girl, or what's trying to talk to your boss asking for a raise? It's nothing. No other situation or position could break you because you know that you've been through worse. Number 2 is delayed gratification. Forget about the prize and keep working. Don't worry about anything else but work. When you step into a boxing gym or a jiu-jitsu gym or any type of gym, you're not going to be an expert on the very first day. You always start out as a beginner. And no matter how much money you have, you could be a millionaire, a billionaire, a trillionaire. You can't buy these skills. You just can't buy the title of becoming a world champion in boxing. You can't buy the title of becoming a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt. Or you can't buy the title of becoming a kickboxing world champion or the title of becoming an Olympic gold medalist in wrestling. You have to put in the work and you have to forget about the prize and you have to practice delayed gratification. And you'll learn that when you start fighting. Especially in boxing, if you fight for the amateurs, you don't get paid in the amateurs. You see in the highest level of boxing, you see these boxers getting paid millions and millions of dollars. But when you're an amateur, you don't get paid anything. As a matter of fact, you pay them to fight. But the good thing about that is once you forget about the prize and once you just focus on work, you enjoy what you're doing and just keep putting in work, your hard work will reward you exponentially. When you start something new, you're definitely gonna suck. Like anything else in life, once you start a new skill or a new hobby, you don't become an expert right away. Take Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu for example. You won't learn a flying armbar right away. You won't learn a flying triangle right away or some crazy video game move. You don't acquire those skills the first time that you start. It takes a lot of time and effort to develop those skills. And that's okay, that's part of the process of getting better. In life, there's no such thing as perfect, but in fighting, you gotta strive to be perfect because one little mistake can cost you your fight or your life. There's a quote that Bruce Lee said, that he doesn't fear a man who's practiced 10,000 kicks once, but he fears a man who practiced one kick 10,000 times. You just keep doing it over and over and over again until you become perfect and you don't make any mistakes. It's like a blacksmith forging a sword. It's gonna get smashed over and over and over again until it takes shape, and then later on it becomes extremely sharp. Now it becomes a weapon. So that sword is gonna be you. That's you on your path to becoming better. But during the process, you gotta practice delayed gratification. Keep showing up every single day, regardless of how you feel. And from there, you can be deadly. Number 3, it teaches you respect. Don't make the same mistake that I did. Walk into a boxing gym and just start asking people to spar them. I absolutely had no respect. I was full of arrogance. And as a result, I got my ass whooped. There's always someone that's better than you. Even if you're the best at what you do, you have to respect the fact that there's always someone that knows more than you. And that's gonna put you in your place. That's gonna put you to become more humble, knowing that someone is better than you It's gonna motivate you and push you and put in more hours or study more, practice more, or do whatever you can to make your craft perfect. Knowing that there's someone that's always better than you respect their work ethic, at the same time you put in more work. You respect the fact that they could beat you at any given moment. Always have that student mentality. Always think that there's something more to learn. That's why masters are so good at what they do, is because they constantly keep learning. They respect the game and they respect the fact that knowledge is endless. My jiu-jitsu coach always told me that jiu-jitsu is a sea of knowledge. You gotta be constantly swimming and learning, acquiring knowledge and skills for your craft. It also teaches you to become a better team member. Even though you watch fighting, you watch boxing for example. Even though the guy is alone in that ring, for him to get into that ring, he needed a team to get there. And that's why fighting teaches you to become a better team member. It teaches you to respect your coaches, respect your team members and your team players. Because without them, you wouldn't be in that big stage. You need team players, you need sparring partners, you need coaches, you need nutritionists. It takes a whole team to perform at the highest level of fighting. But not just fighting. Think about Amazon, for example. Amazon did not become Amazon because of one man only. It took a whole team of developers, IT people, sales, programmers to reach to where it's at today. And with all that said, be humble. You gotta realize that you're always a student, you're always learning, and you gotta realize that there's always someone that's better than you. There's always bigger fish in the sea. Number 4, it teaches you integrity. You have to become a man of integrity if you learn how to fight. Fighting teaches you how to become honest. The truth always comes out. For example, if I lied to myself and I lied to my coach, I've been running 5 miles every day, I've been training hard. Once the fight comes or once sparring comes, chances are you're not going to be in shape. Even though you say that you are in shape, you're not going to be in shape and you're going to get your ass worked in that ring. Because you lied to yourself, you didn't put in the work. So there's no such thing as lying in fighting. The truth always comes out. There's no other route for you to take. There's no shortcuts. It's only from point A to point B. It's either you put in the work or not. And if you haven't put in the work, you're going to get outlapped and outworked by your competition. If you haven't put in the work and you sign up for a fight, guess what? You're most likely going to lose because you're not in shape. It's all honesty and integrity in fighting in general. Number 5 is peace. A student once asked Bruce Lee, "You teach me about fighting, yet you talk about peace. How do you reconcile the two?" Bruce Lee beautifully replied by saying, "It's better to become a warrior in the garden than to become a gardener at war." It's always the people that don't know how to fight that have the biggest mouths. If you've ever been in a situation where a fight is about to go down, and it's always these loudmouths that start a fight. If you ever see a guy that's so calm amidst chaos, most likely that he knows how to fight. Personally, I've seen a lot of experiences like this in the past where a loudmouth always talks big game, but when the fight starts, they don't even know how to fight and they get knocked out. Fighting teaches you to let go of any type of ego. It teaches you to become less aggressive, it teaches you to become less hot-headed. It teaches you how to detach yourself from your emotions completely. Now that you know how to fight, and you know that you're capable of producing such violence, you won't even go out on the street or any type of situation where you need to fight. Knowing how to fight makes you not want to fight because you know the repercussions of a fight and you know the results of a fight. Fighting is not pleasant unless you have to or unless that it matters. But aside from that, fighting makes you not want to fight. It teaches you how to control yourself and it teaches you how to carry yourself in certain situations. The top 5 lessons that you can learn from fighting that you can't learn anywhere else. If you like it, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Send me a message, follow me on Instagram, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.